Welcome to On The Bit, your weekly preview of the weekend's racing. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Going great, Dave.
That's good. We're coming to you from the pre-parade ring at headquarters at Flemington, and we've got Super Saturday this week. Last week the scratching of All Too Hard sort of put a dampener on the weekend's racing, but this weekend we're absolutely got a cracker of a weekend of racing. As we said, Super Saturday at Flemington, the Chipping Norton Stakes at Warwick Farm, and on Monday, the public holiday, we've got the Adelaide Cup Day coming to you from Morfordville. So for this week we'll start with the $1 million Group 1 Newmarket Stakes over 1200 metres down the straight course here at Flemington, and it's probably the premier sprint event of the Australian racing calendar, and we've got a ripper this year. So who do you like in the Newmarket, Lenny?
It's an intriguing event as always, Dave.
Yep.
You know, you've got the unbeaten Barrackey coming in, he's first up, and the top weight and Lucky Grey. But I'm going to lean for a horse that's down on the minimum weight with 50.5 on his back, the Flying Queenslander, Better Than Ready. Been awesome, in great form. He's been running great times, and the only query is going to be his first time down the straight here, but he's going to be in the middle of a track. There'll be good speed as always, and
yep.
I expect him with no weight on his back and Premier Jockey Craig Williams on his back to basically be saluting at about $5 or $6.
Yep. Yeah, two horses stand out for me this week. I'm leaning to Better Than Ready as well, the 3-year-old colt to win the Newmarket, pretty much because of the weight advantage. He's a strapping big colt, and with 50.5, I just feel like a postage stamp on his back. He jumped out sensationally here on Tuesday over 800. I think he might have needed that run too, because it's been very wet in Queensland and they haven't really been able to use the training tracks to the best of their advantage, so he probably needed a good hit out before the weekend. Yeah, and he's won 5 from 8 starts. It is a huge step up in class for him. He's never sort of run at this Group 1 level before, but the weight is obviously going to help him. But he's the type of horse who will sort of blend in late in the race, and the last 200 I think he'll be coming over the top of them. His biggest danger for mine is Moment of Change though, the favourite for the race. He's at a perfect lead up into the race, second to Black Caviar and the Lightning, and he was a top run behind Black Caviar that day. Even Black Caviar broke the track record that day, and he was beaten about 2.5, 3 lengths, but he was on the bit himself up until about the 200 when he just couldn't stay with her. He will probably really benefit from the extra 200 metres of this race. I do believe he really is a strong 1200, 1400 metre sprinter. That's about his as far as he wants to go. His form around 1200 is very strong. I'm very confident that these two will run the Quinella, so I think you can get a nice collect here.
Yep.
The other feature on the day at Flemington is the Group 1 Australian Cup, mate, and over 2,000 metres at Weight for Age, another ripper race.
I like the Western Australian, Dave, Mr. Moe.
Yep.
I think he's been he's been in great form whilst he was in WA, and he's come over here. His 2 runs this time in have been just ideal. His first up run in New York was fantastic, and then he ran a slashing second in the Peter Young second up at Caulfield. He's third up. He should be peaking for this 2,000 metres. Now there's going to be good speed with the 3-year-old 5.5 star and Glass Harmonium, and you've also got Moraine. And I think one of them's going to lead, and the others are going to keep them honest.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that will set it up for a horse like him. There's obviously other good back markers in the race, but I think his form leading into this is what you want to win an Australian Cup.
Yeah, his form has been very good. He was very fit before he got here. So again, I think there's 2 great chances in this race. For mine, I'm looking for the horses that I think will improve a lot off their first up runs and their second up lead ups. The Melbourne Cup winner, Green Moon, will derive a lot of fitness out of his first up run 2 weeks ago. He sat behind the speed in a 1400 metre race and just lacked the sprint when the pressure went on from the 300. I expect him to prove a hell of a lot second up to 2000 at Flemington, where he's won 3 times. His record at 2000 is very strong, winning 4 races and running second from 6 starts. Preble has come back to riding from Hong Kong, so there's no doubting that he must have improved off the run. They haven't missed him in the betting, admittedly. He's $3.70. I think he's about $4 today. But he's the class horse of the race for mine. So I think he'll be very hard to beat. I think the danger for him is the 3-year-old 5.5 star. He was caught in the last start over 1800 in about the last 50 metres. But I think he really needed that run under his belt to toughen him up for this race. He will sit in the pace, either at lead or sit behind the pace. Really depends on Glass Harmonian because he's a bit of a barrier rogue and whether he jumps and wants to go to the league. Bossy has stayed on, which I think is a good sign. He'll find a lot more this week at Flemington where the turns are a lot more forgiving. And I think he's right in this, right up to his ears. He's the Derby winner of last spring and he's got the stamina to keep going at the end of here. Again, I think it's a very nice Quinella. Yeah, so that sort of does it for the Flemington Group 1s this week. Now we've got some stable news, Lenny, and it's been another big week for us at the sales this week.
Exciting week.
We went to the Inglis Premier Sales at Oaklands Junction in Melbourne this week, and we bought 3 horses. First of all, we bought a strong Doomsday filly. The dam has produced 6 winners from 8 runners. She's super vibrant, qualified, and that made us want to take her home. She was. We can only really look forward to getting up some of that bonus money. What did you like about her, Lenny? She was sort of in our top 3 fillies for the sale.
Lovely filly and just went under the radar, I think. Strong, strapping sort of filly.
Yeah.
Looked like she had a great attitude, and she's a half to a stakes horse.
Yeah.
By a sire that was so hot a couple of years ago with Press Day, and seems like he's forgotten, but from all the word around the traps, there's some real nice ones in some leading stables. So pretty excited about this filly.
We did get a quiet word that Doomsday was going to come out with a few nice ones, especially through the Darley, the stable there. Secondly, and probably our favourite for the sale, we were really rapt to get this one. It was a sleepless night beforehand. This guy went early on the Monday morning. It was a black athletic Lonroad colt. What a cracker he is, mate. I can just see him winning some exciting races in a year's time. What did you really like about him? He was our top pick on the colt.
As a colt, just his overall demeanour, he just come out and he just took everything in his stride, and so athletic. Like watching him walk and the way he could turn, just a real athlete. He just really got my eye. He's a lovely horse. He was
not a big colt, which is actually exactly why we liked him. But
he's thrown to mum, according to what Anthony Friedman said.
Anthony Friedman trained the dam Eva Webb. He's sold already. We sold him within 45 minutes. He was such a good looker. It wasn't hard to sell. And thirdly, the pick of the fillies for the entire sale for you, wasn't it, mate? The Flying Spur filly out of Mossarama. This is just a page full of black type winners, including 3 actual sires on the page. Surely she's got group horse written all over her, mate.
Oh, she tells me she's going to be a flights filly in Sydney.
Coming over the rise at Randwick.
She's another big athletic sort of filly with just a beautiful page. You know, tickets, Duporth, Excites. The Dam is a 3/4 sister, to Staging, who was a champion. So it's just a beautiful family. Yeah,
we're surprised we even could afford her, but everyone had spent their money by the end of the sale, so we got lucky and we're wrapped. So we came away with 3 really lovely horses. And to top it off, Charles in Charge heads to Adelaide on Monday for the Magic Millions race, the Adelaide 2-year-old Magic Millions race. It's only worth 88,000. I don't know what's going on there, so don't get me started on that. But he just wins. Remember, on the bit, mate, on the bit. Remember, we have syndicated 6 winners from 6 runners so far, 100% strike rate. So if you want to get involved and start living the dream, drop me a line at david@dreamthoroughbreds.com.au, and we'll show you how to get involved, mate. Get involved.
Get involved.
All right, mate. We'll move on. The best on breeding, mate. What's your best on breeding tip for the weekend?
If you look directly behind me, Dave, and look up there, it just says this is Norzita's stall.
That's it.
She's the one. She was purchased for $200,000 at the 2011 Premier Yearling Sale. And Thorne Park, as some of you may know, is recently deceased, but he's been a great sire. He's a sire of Jimmy Shue.
An Ocean Park.
Ocean Park.
Yeah, who won the Cox Plate last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, he's been a fantastic sire. This filly Norzita's out of a winning Quest for Fame mare who's already produced a stakes-winning full sister in Hollows.
Yep.
This is a family of the sires Jetspur and Sedative, as well as the very good Gerald Ryan trained Melito.
Yep.
This is an extremely well-related mare, and she's got the Bart Cummings polish.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I like it too. Value bets for the weekend for me. Flemington Race 3, number 14, Par Fury. A new approach colt. New approach is a new sire to Australia. Darley's got this colt. Very popular at the sales, new approach. We actually tried to get one ourselves, but he went for a lot more than what we could afford. He's drawn barrier 4, Brett Preble on board, one of the leading jockeys in the world, Brett Preble. Ran first up on a heavy track at Warwick Farm, finished 6th, beaten a fair way with Josh Parr on board, but different race on Saturday. I think he'll sit in a forward position. New approaches should really, love the 1400 metres of this size. In a very open race, I must admit, he's $11. I think he'll get better on the day. I think he's a good value bet. And just another quickie, race 8, number 6, Kazan Luck from the Anthony Friedman stable. She's $21 on the early market. I think she's actually great value at $21. She was 4 wide first up. She's drawn a bad barrier again in 15, but if she gets any luck in the running, I think she'll be very strong at the finish, second up. So Kazan Luck might be worth a each way ticket as well. On the bit specials this week, Lenny, who you got for your on the bit special?
On the bit special for me is a mare that you probably know I love, Silent Achiever, the Kiwi mare in the Chipping Norton big field.
Yep, at Warwick Farm, Sydney.
At Warwick Farm, which generally means at Warwick Farm, big fields, you're going to be able to get home. There's great speed in this race with King Mufasa and Glencairn Gold drawing off the track, so you'd expect them to be pushing out wide. Silent Achiever hasn't drawn the greatest gate, she's drawn one, but I think she'll just go back to last and she'll just come round and with one run. She's got a perfect second up record where she's 2 from 2. She's 2 from 3 at the trip. She beat Rangi Rangdu over the mile last time in at the Weight for Age. And she was great first up in New Zealand with 61 on her back where she ran second. So I think she's going well, and Roger James wouldn't bring her over for nothing.
Oh no, she's quality. She's all quality. I was a little bit worried about the barrier, I must admit, but if she gets any luck, gets to the outside, she'll be storming home. On the bit special for me, your best on breeding, mate. Race 5, number 1, Norzita. Seriously, this filly is the bet of the weekend, other than Charles in Charge on Monday in Adelaide. Seriously good filly, will win a lot better races than this, I can tell you. I know she's been backed in from $2.40 to $1.80, $1.85 on the fixed odds, but she just wins. So I'll just multi her up with everything on the weekend. I think we probably get a little bit better on race day, so I'm not going to rush into the $1.85, but she's on the bit for mine, just wins. Off the bit lay for the weekend, Lenny.
Off the bit lay is a mare that I've had a bit of success with on the punt. That's Hortensia.
Yep.
She's obviously not a real short quote, but I just think if you're thinking of backing her, I think all her form of late has been overseas.
Yeah.
And obviously her ratings come because of that. She was a very good mare when she was last in Australia, but she wasn't an absolute top liner. And I think she's been viewed as a top liner, like winning those races overseas, which is fair enough. But she's back to a new market here, coming off an ordinary run first up. She's going to have to improve a hell of a lot with a decent weight on her back, and I just can't see her winning or finishing in the first 3.
She would have to improve a lot. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Hortensia as well, but I can't see her winning on Saturday. Off the bit for me, race 4, number 6, Callanish. I think I promised you I'd do this, wouldn't I? That's 2 in a row. I laid him last week, he got beat. I'm laying him again. He won't win again this week. He's actually in a tougher race this week. He doesn't have the class to win at this level, and he's come up favourite again. He come up early favourite at $3.90. I think he's actually eased now to about $4.50. Not for mine. Can't win. Off the bit. So that.